Cities are about streets, and that's where the life occurs in a city. Most people automatically start to think about buildings, but what we see is the street. It's what we value the most. The street is the key to a building's value. What we remember the most is the streets. If I'm in Chicago, I'm remembering Michigan Avenue, and if I'm in LA, Wilshire Boulevard. In New York, it's Broadway, it's Central Park West. I'm an architect. My practice has always been about making cities, specifically making city streets. That doesn't mean that buildings don't have their own identity and their own individual character and beauty, but it's about a family of buildings that contribute to making a common place, which is the street, the space between the buildings. I've always lived in cities. First 10 years of my life, my family and I lived above our butcher shop in Philadelphia, one of the great and walkable cities of the world. I walked to work all my life. I am probably biased, but that's a good thing. I don't have to think twice about streets. West 4th Street is a great example of a street. West 4th Street is in New York City. It's in historic West Village. It's a place that we can learn lessons from and apply to many other locations. Buildings of all types have grown up next to each other, but the space between the buildings has its own design. It includes nature, trees. It's like a tug of war between the people walking and the people on wheels who have to drive the trucks and the taxis and try and find a parking space on the street. But that balance, that tug of war, is exactly what makes it so special. The sidewalks might be small and narrow, so are the streets where cars are moving and parking, but it works. Everyone's welcome. It's always open. Day and night, it functions in all weather. Rain, snow, sunny days. It's our commons, our shared space. And the most important thing you're going to see are the people. It's a mix of all types, all ages, all sizes, all colors. You could see the world by looking at the people here. It's kind of a fashion show. Cities are for walking. That's what the street is designed primarily for. And we've been walking in cities from their very beginning. It's our primary means of getting around. If you live in a city neighborhood, everything is within a walk, whether it's school, church, library, gym, park, playground, shops. No matter the size of the street, we have to agree on a set of rules, and that's the crosswalk. The crosswalk is probably the key to how a city works every day, how it keeps flowing and moving, and how we get about. They're simple white lines. They're meant to be noticed, not just for people walking, for those on bikes, also for those in vehicles. The street is where the battle takes place, the tug of war between wheels and people walking. The crosswalk is the safe haven for the person walking. They stand out because we don't want the cars blocking the crosswalk. We don't want people walking other than in the crosswalk. If we have to go long distances or we have to carry heavy packages, we need vehicles. Even on a street like West 4th Street, vehicles are an essential part of life. They make everything work. It's not just the trucks or the vans or the taxis, but it's also the bicycles. We have scooters, motorcycles. In streets that are small, we do get a lot of congestion. The roadways aren't that big and wide to allow fast-moving traffic. So small streets like West 4th Street are, you could say, very walkable, but they also are very convenient for vehicles. Streets are the key to life in cities. The ambulances, the police cars, the fire trucks, they all must have the streets in order to help us. And that is essential. When you hear the sirens, everybody wakes up and pays attention not to be in the way. Cars move over. And the sanitation truck is key. How are the buildings going to function if they don't have trash removed? And then there's the world underneath the streets. You can't have buildings functioning without electricity. We need to take the waste from the buildings into the sewers. Our internet service, have the cables under the streets. The city works because of the streets. You're going to always see utilities being repaired, just like buildings are always being repaired. The city streets is where we get our light and air. It's also where trees are able to prosper. They are contributing to improving the air quality. And because they provide shade, they're encouraging more walking. It's where birds are thriving, not just the pigeons, all types. Sparrows, wrens, cardinals, you name it. We have a constant play of animal life, squirrels. It's all part of an ecosystem that is contributing to our daily life. It's happening in cities. In cities, you're out experiencing is nature, the sun, the rain. That's when we have all those umbrellas come out and people trying to find room on the sidewalk to go past each other, and we lift them up and we lower them, and it's another kind of tug of war. And then that snow comes. There isn't anything more beautiful than how that snow falls on the sidewalks and all the vehicles and the trees and the buildings with their canopies and balconies and windowsills and trucks are plowing. Every property owner has to keep cleaning those sidewalks so people can walk and get out with their dogs. Dogs need streets. You can't have a dog in a city if you didn't have a street, because where are they going to go pee and poop? Every one of them is dependent on that street. And that's where dogs, by the way, get a chance to see other dogs. Certainly a great way to meet other people, because they all have to say hello when the dogs say hello to each other. Now, if we want to have a lot of fun, you close the street. It's a block party, or if you have a school and it's on a block, they close the whole street during school hours, and all of a sudden the street transforms into fun, play, and special events, celebrations, parades. We have lots of fun in streets. Halloween. You can't do trick-or-treating in the city if you don't have streets. On West 4th Street, we have lots of restaurants, all types, outdoor cafes. And then there's the vendors with the little food carts. They're very movable, very affordable, and they add a lot of color and life. Window shopping is made possible by streets. Window shopping is a very inexpensive way of enjoying city life. Shop fronts are always designed because they're trying to induce you to leave the street and come inside. The most successful streets in the world, in Europe, France, Italy especially, are straight like West 4th. They're narrow because you can shop both sides of the street. The look and feel of a street is based on the buildings. The character, the style, all these ornaments, decoration give us the visual experience and the enjoyment of seeing so much. It's coming from the buildings. Cities are usually thought to be places that are big and have big buildings, and that's true, but it's the human scale that people experience. West 4th Street, all these buildings are small scale, so it's very walkable. It's all human. All cities throughout the world have streets. It's been the foundation of how civilizations have been evolving and developing forever. Think of West 4th Street as a model of streets in any city. They are a public realm between the buildings. They all have the functions of circulation, whether it's walking or driving. They all have their utilities that make everything work. Nature is evolving and growing. People are being serviced in emergencies, ambulances, police, fire trucks. They're using the streets. We close streets for celebrations. What you're seeing on West 4th is the same as everywhere else. In every city, they're mostly about what happens in the street. It's the magic of streets.